Hello everyone and welcome to my bold and beautiful today update channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Hope takes great threat. Thomas may get burned. The bold and the beautiful spoilers document that Hope Spencer is forging ahead. After being ditched by Liam Spencer, she decided to continue what could be described as a potentially romantic relationship. For the moment, Hope doesn't want anything serious with Thomas Forrester, but she knows that he loves her and wants to ensure that he understands where she's coming from. Bold and the beautiful spoilers highlights Thomas is under Hope's control. He dropped his manipulative approach months ago and earned her trust as a result. Hope takes great threat. Thomas may get burned. Hope was veritably appreciative that Thomas, in effect, saved Hope for the future. The line floundered poorly after he was fired for cause, but rebounded after Thomas was rehired and delivered a masterful line that was cheered by the fashion press in Rome, Italy. The rearmost fabulous position shoot proved to reset two main stories. Liam's substantiation of Hope kissing Thomas ended a marriage, while Ridge Forrester's Thorsten K. view of Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, through the Aventine keyhole restored their relationship. Liam Spencer told about his mistake. Thomas and Liam didn't come to blows after Rome, but they changed strong words. Liam dismisses Thomas but couldn't ignore the warning he made. Atkinson's character told his rival that he'd remorse slice Hope loose. That statement reflected Thomas' rising confidence that he can win Hope's heart in the long run. Clifton's character stressed Thomas accompanying Hope on the fashion trip, and his portentous vaticination bore out. His posterior call for divorce was followed days laterally by Hope presenting him with legal papers they both inked but aren't yet known to have filed. Thomas Forrester's stability derailed. Thomas noted internal health stabilized when he made a sincere trouble to turn his life around. Returning to Forrester Creations and reviving HFTF represents the height of his career success to date. Still, Hope is Thomas' soft spot. He wants to marry her, with an intended alternate marriage being licit, and raise Douglas Forrester and the son she had with Liam, Beth Spencer. What sounded like an adulatory proposition has come a realistic thing Thomas could reach in the coming months. It would not be a stretch to see Hope retie the knot with Thomas as a means of affirming her new. She'd also shoot a strong communication to Liam and anyone differently who doubts her choices on B&B. Hope worries Thomas might struggle with a no-strings relationship. At Eric's house, Ridge offered to put Eric's designs into Ridge's couture line. Not going for it, Eric asserted that Ridge was just worried that RG was designing with Eric, not Ridge. Eric's right hand uncontrollably quivered, and he hid it from Ridge. Eric figured Ridge should be thrilled about the advance with RJ, but Eric tasted that the way it had come about really bothered Ridge. Denying it, Ridge said he would wanted it since the day RG had been born, and now he is doing it with me and not with you, Eric persisted. Ridge made martinis, and the men heated. Perfect? Ridge asked, pertaining to the drink. Veritably close, Eric fooled, screaming. As Eric swirled his drink, Ridge asked what Eric was doing and if he sought more drama in his life. Eric noted that RG had been out in the world with no interest in the family business, but he was home, designing down, with me, and not with you. Eric asked to make sure Ridge was not harboring resentment about it. Ridge asked if Eric really allowed. Ridge would have a problem with Eric tutoring RJ. It was not true, according to Ridge, who believed that there was no bone. Better to educate RJ than the master himself. Ridge did not get why Eric was stressing himself out in making the living room look like a yard trade just to do one further thing. Ridge wondered why they could not each do it together. Because this is all mine, Eric uttered. As Eric poured himself another martini, his hand shook, and ice jangled against the sword shaker containing the drink. Ridge did not understand Eric's need to go it alone. Eric guessed it was the pride of the artist. Ridge considered how essential the press was, too, and on the spot, he made up a crusade about the 3 generations of Forrester contrivers. Eric replied that the only problem would be that Ridge would retain control. Eric had been happy to stand in the bodies and give Ridge the spotlight. He was proud of Ridge but said, "Not this time." Ridge caught on that Eric really wanted to do it. Eric said he could not be more certain. Ridge asked if Eric no longer felt applicable. Eric dismissed the idea, and Ridge gathered that Eric was feeling his mortality. Ridge placarded that Eric would outlast them all. Thanking Ridge, Eric said he might have a many good times left. Ridge asked Eric to admit the new generation of foresters. Steffi, Thomas, and RG. Ridge prompted Eric to show some pride. Eric yelled that he was proud, but he was not ready for his son to set. Ridge claimed that Eric could tutor the coming generation because their success was his success. Eric ordered Ridge to stop. Eric persisted in his belief that he demanded it. What if it does not succeed? Ridge asked. Eric said it would. You do not know that. We have no way known that. No way, Ridge yelled. Ridge said that it was certain, still, that anyone would see Eric in a bar and buy him a martini because of what he would formerly done. Ridge believed that anyone would host Eric anywhere because of his accomplishments, not because of his borns. You have plenitude of accolades. What more do you need? Ridge asked. Eric refocused his cutlet and said he was the author, and Ridge did not tell Eric what to do. Ridge decided that if Eric really wanted to contend, he should know that Ridge was at the top of his game. Eric remarked upon Ridge's big pride. I am with Brooke. She inspires me. Everything I touch turns to gold, Ridge replied. Let's settle this on the runway, Eric responded. With a kiss on Eric's impertinence, Ridge left. Eric gripped his worried hand and peered around with query. In Eric's office, Brooke was still punctured by the idea that RG was designing. RG asked what life was without a many surprises. Brooke explained that Ridge was not angry. He was rapturous about RG designing but wished the circumstances were different. RG asked what that indeed meant and questioned whether Ridge wanted his son designing with Eric. Carter arrived as Brooke was saying that Ridge had not been suitable to believe it. Carter asked what they were talking about, and figuring Carter would find out, RG revealed that he was helping Eric produce a new line. Carter complimented RJ but guessed that Ridge was losing his mind. RG said he had not talked to his father about it yet. RG participated that Eric was doing further than tutoring. He called this line our line. I mean, you have no idea how that makes me feel, RG added. Carter was proud of RJ but questioned the timing and starting a new line when AFTF was firing on all cylinders, not to mention the success of Ridge's couture line. Carter allowed. It was parlous. Brooke replied that Carter made good points and Ridge presumably would agree. Carter recalled that Eric's first collection had also been a threat and had gotten them to that veritably day. Brooke asked if Carter supported Eric's decision despite the pitfalls. Carter was not saying that, but he stated that he was too smart to count out the great Eric Forrester. In the design office, Hope and Thomas savored the moment as he kissed her neck from behind while she peered in a glass. She asked if he was sure he was okay with it. He jounced. She dropped her dress, and they passionately kissed. Hope asked if he got what this was. He claimed he did. She said she knew his commitment to her. And the way you are looking at me, Thomas. Thomas uttered that they were good, no strings. She was glad because she loved what they'd been doing together, but she wondered if it would really be enough for him. Between kisses, Hope stated that she did not want to talk, but she had to make sure Thomas could handle it. He said he could. The agreement? You understand, she asked. Thomas set her on the office, and as they kissed, she slid off his belt. Thomas and Hope moved to the lounge. She sat between his legs with her reversed to him, and his kisses traced down her neck. After Thomas and Hope had coitus, they lay beneath a mask on the lounge. You, he uttered, and she beamed, saying you in reply. Thomas marveled at the change in her. She said she would discover commodity within her that she had not known was. And I like it, she stated before boxing Thomas in another passionate kiss.